Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the continuing series of safety seminars sponsored by EnVue Telematics, safer, smarter, faster, using advanced technologies to help our customers and prospective customers manage their risk exposure, reduce their operating expenses, and make a safer working environment for their employees for the time that they spend behind the wheel of their company vehicles. I really appreciate you all registering and taking the time to be with us this afternoon. We'll be covering some statistical information that I think most of us are all familiar with about the severity of incidences involving commercial vehicles and accident rates and cost associated with those. And want to be introducing our partners from Xtract, first notice of loss software platform that when we've been unfortunately involved in those incidents, that our employees have a good way to gather all of the critical information at the point and time that the incidents occurred to put us in a collectively better position to move forward with final settlement of incident cost and hopefully not severe litigation, but in today's environment, that's always a possibility. So joining us will be Matt Slominski and Korryn Gully from Xtract. And as I introduce them to come onto the stage to make their presentation, I'll just share a few statistics that to me certainly get my attention, that there are close to 2 million reported annual accidents that involve distracted driving or aggressive driving behavior. 87% of those are found to be preventable. The average cost of medium and heavy collisions can be upwards of $200,000 or more, particularly if there's litigation with any nuclear verdict possibly involved. So obviously the importance of focusing on safety and risk management and incident avoidance is important, but just as important is focusing on having policies and procedures in place that when those incidents do occur, that our employees are collecting the critical information that will be needed to move forward in the processing and final settlement of incident-related expense. So for that, let me introduce and welcome to the stage Matt Slominski from Xtract. Matt, thank you so much for being a part of our webinar series and look forward to what you have to share with our audience today. So I will leave the stage to you.
Randy, thank you. Bethany, thank you very much. We love partnering with EnVue. We see you as really leaders in the industry and what you bring to your partners. So thank you for this opportunity. Today, I'll take you through a brief slide deck, talk about what we do and how we do it, and how our partners are benefiting from our technology. But really, we'll spend probably most of our time in the platform. So after my demo here, or after my presentation, Korryn's going to take us through a demo, which we really bring that data to life. So many of you on the webinar today probably have not heard of Xtract. That is okay. We are a white labeled software platform. We are 8 years in existence, founded in Dublin, Ireland, and we are leveraging telematics information for some of the world's largest insurers. In our home market today, 65% of all insurance claims, both connected and not connected, in Ireland are going through our platform. The nice part is, you can go to the next slide, please, Korryn. The nice part is that what we're able to do is take that technology and bring it into the hands of fleets. Fleets are the natural extension of that insurance ecosystem. So although our North Star was insurance, what we've been able to do is bring that back. And if you're looking at a fleet where the safety manager or the fleet manager wears multiple hats in the business, what we're able to do is give them the power, as I said, those large global insurers have today for FNOL, and really digitize and automate a process so they become a claims expert. At the same time, we have large insurers who operate as their own insurance, or large fleets that operate as their own insurance company. And what we're able to do is help them aggregate all this data from multiple sources and able to get the best claims results. So whether you have a fleet that has pays for a high premium with a low deductible, or you're a fleet that's self-insured, we really help them protect what we see as their four most valuable assets: their employees and their drivers, their time, their money, and their brand. And what we see on average is an ROI of fleets using our platform of up to 15 times. Where do those savings come from? They really sit in two areas. The first area is operating expense. So again, what we're able to do is we're going to able to automate and digitize a very critical but manual process today. And then the second piece is we're able to focus on the cost of those claims, or the indemnity. As Randy mentioned, the average cost of claims is $200,000. What we've been able to do is help our partners win 25% more claims. So those are claims that they're not paying the $200,000, or they're not splitting that 50-50. We're helping them win more. When we look at our three pillars, what we have in there is we have safety. What Korryn's going to take us through is how we can leverage telematics and give real-time notifications. Your fleet and safety managers can be able to see a complete recreation of the incident with animation, including likelihood of injury to the driver, plus any relevant dash cam footage, even before the driver tells you something has happened. This allows you to manage the human side of that incident. We have value. As we talked about the ROI that we're bringing through, our fleets have seen that we have helped them streamline their business and focus on really managing the risk versus managing admin, plus having better claims results. And then finally, fleets are investing heavily in safety and technology, both from telematics devices and dash cams. And we give the power to leverage both of those in real time and really bring that technology to the forefront. And how do we work with EnVue? We have an easy process that if someone wants to sign up, whether you're with Geotab or not, we can go through that process. It's painless. We have integrations both into platforms such as My Geotab and their devices as the Drive app. And we also have integrations with all major dashcam providers. But all of those areas are not required. We have a standalone platform as well. And we have multiple ways that a driver can engage, which Korryn will take us through now. So again, thank you for this opportunity, but let's get into the demo. Over to you, Korryn.
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to share my screen for our demo here. Perfect. So Xtract, in this version that we're showing, like Matt said, we are agnostic, so we can work with different providers. This view we're showing today is how we work through Geotab. So we are embedded in the add-in section under incidents. First page that our fleets will see is this map. And when they scroll down, they'll have these different incident cards coming in chronological order. These are our accident cards coming in. So first piece to this is identifying what sits within each claim. So we have an identifier on the top right that's going to let us know this is a collision claim. Now we like to clarify that because we also offer alternative incident reports that our fleets are utilizing every single day. That covers anything from slips and trips, cargo damage, hazardous material spill, oil spills, etc. It's very industry specific. So first thing is identifying what type of claim are we dealing with. Second piece is what sits within this claim. So the icons on the bottom will let the fleet manager or the manager know what's sitting within this claim. We know this one has telematics already attached, and there's some media files that we can go into. So what we would do is set up a notification system for either the safety manager or whatever manager wants to be alerted at the time of incident. They would get a text message that lets them know their driver's been in an accident. They can pull up the dashboard, click into the incident card, and what they have here in real time before their driver is even called to let them know they've been in an accident is a full reconstruction playthrough with the chevrons lighting up at the bottom. So right there's our impact. So by creating this animation, we're highlighting two things right off the front, and that would be the safety of our driver post-accident. So in the bottom right here, we have likelihood of injury to our driver. At a medium likelihood of injury, you could then pick up the phone, give your driver a call, see if they're okay. If they don't pick up the phone, you could always dispatch emergency vehicles if you wanted to. Second piece is we're triaging damage to the company vehicle. So this red line on the back of the animation is indicating where the impact zone is. So we know this one is a rear-ending collision. Now, like Matt mentioned, we integrate with the major dashcam players. So what we do is we pull that video footage in real time with the accident reconstruction. So as soon as they're notified the accident has happened, not only do they have the animation showing the flow of the accident and the likelihood of injury to driver, they also have the dashcam footage without having to search for it, that they can visually see a bit more of what's happened to their driver. Play through this one. Here our driver's slowing down. And right there's our impact. A couple other things that are going to come in just through the telematics. We're going to show on the top right how fast our driver was going prior to impact. And then when we open up this right-hand panel, we can look at the initial damage to the vehicle, including the trade and retail value. We have integrations with weather stations, so we will pull in the weather conditions at the time of incident. But now that we know the basics of the accident, we know our driver's okay, because we probably already reached out to them. What we want to do is get the driver's version of events to finish this claim process. So there's a couple different ways we can do that. Down here in the setup panel, these are the questions that we're going to request from the driver. So if the manager needed to manually enter that, they can do so on the platform. Or we can go into share and request a statement from the driver. Now I'm going to switch my screen because this request option can also be utilized through, like Matt mentioned before, the GeoTab Drive app or any native app that the fleets are using. So we're agnostic, and this is a web app, so we can ingest into an app they're already using, can be through the GeoTab Drive app, or we also have fleets that utilize this through a QR code. So driver will open from this view, it's in the GeoTab Drive app, they'll open it up and click report incident. Now here's where they're selecting the type of incident they're reporting. Today our main focus is on collision and auto accidents. But like I said, we have fleets that are utilizing our alternative incident reports every single day. So we'll go into collision. We're going to ask the driver to drag and drop a pin at the location that they're at. We already know where they are based on telematics, but really the goal of this journey is to get the driver's input. So we're going to drag and drop a pin for the exact location and then start getting into some of the incident details. The main goal with this application, we call it our FNOL or our driver journey, is to match the fleet's current process and the process that their insurers want to see when they're gathering information. So we do ask for third-party information to drag and drop a pin for the third party. And what we validated with our insurance partners and with our fleets is by gathering third-party data in the first 24 hours, average savings per claim is about $4,000. We ask our driver to input damage to not only their vehicle, but also third party to gain a better understanding of the extent, as well as take pictures at the scene of their vehicle, third party, and the scene itself. We do ask for a brief description of how the accident happened, but again, that form is fully configurable to match the fleet's current process. So as soon as that report is turned in, our fleet manager would get a notification. We can then go back into the platform, and when they enter that claim now, what they see is a full animated reconstruction, but not only is there just the telematics, we have the red line on our animation showing the information our driver added. Not only do we have the red line, but we also have the likelihood of injury to our third party. Now when we go into the right-hand panel, we can see we have some additional damage inputs from our driver that wasn't initially picked up by telematics. And we have the damage to the third-party vehicle. And by gathering their VIN at the scene, we were able to pull in their trade value and retail value of their vehicle, as well as approximately how fast they were going at impact. Weather has stayed the same. Liability is for internal use, so fleets can decide how they want to utilize that. Our notes section, our driver notes will populate here. Our manager notes will populate. They can be manually added, as well as we can drag and drop notes directly on the map when it's applicable. So in this case, where we know our driver slowed down for a crash ahead of him, we can simply drop a note so that we're indicating there was a car crash in front. Our media section, our driver already uploaded these photos from the scene. However, if we wanted to gather more photos from either our driver or the third party, we can request that directly from within the platform. They'll get a link text message that's just asking for upload photos of the accident. In our document section, we have an integration with about 12,000 precincts in the United States. So as soon as an accident happens, managers can go in here and the VIN will be automated through Geotab. All they have to do is select the agency that responded to the call, hit that request button, and we'll search in the background to find that report as soon as it's digitized. For our video section, we already have our dashcam footage that came in, but they can also add any additional footage, CCTV, ring camera, anything that might also be applicable to the claim. Our task section is also for internal management. So not only can we assign tasks within the team, but these can also be automated from the start. So every time a claim comes in, there's 3 tasks that have to be completed by the management team. And not only can we assign the task itself, we can actually assign the entire claim as it moves through different departments. So if it starts with safety and then moves to the regular claims department and then over to legal, and we can assign this claim without it sitting in front of each department. Our setup panel, like I stated before, this is where our driver information populates. So as we scroll down, if the manager needs to make any edits, any changes to the report post-accident, they can do that here on the bottom, as well as we have an optional management review section. Now, this is just an additional piece for, are there any steps we need to take to make sure our driver is road safe and road ready before they start driving again? We have the third-party information here. And actually, if we wanted to not only request pictures from the third party, but actually have them fill out their own report, we could send them a request for that same report our driver filled out, and we could directly compare and contrast what those 2 reports are saying. So now that we have not only our telematics that came in, we have our driver report that's complete. We've gone through and we've made our liability decision. This is a full claims pack. We need to send this to our insurer. So there's a few different ways that we can share this information. First one being a PDF form. This is going to be a clear, succinct PDF, including all the information we have. What we noticed was lacking, though, that also helped in litigation cases, is the animation itself and the dashcam footage. So we can always share a PDF form. It will be static. But what we created for our fleets is something called a replay link. What this is a non-editable version of everything we just looked at. So the fleet decides what information is shared, depending on who this is getting shared with. They can send this through email. And once they open that tab through email, they'll input their email here. It'll be a link with an expiration on it. So average is 30 to 60 days. And now what they have is a full playthrough of exactly how the claim happened in a clear, succinct way, and more compelling evidence by showing the animation and the flow of the accident, as well as the ability to show the dash cam footage without it being able to be downloaded. I'm going to stop that screen share now. And if you have any questions on the platform or anything that we've walked you through today, feel free to throw some questions in the chat. And Matt, if you want to join me back up on stage.
Korryn, if it's okay, while we're waiting for folks to ask any questions that are out there, I think one thing that was good, and I know you touched on it, but just to go in a little bit deeper, both from an insurance point of view and a safety point of view. From a vehicle, we focused in this situation on collision. That's the most common vehicle incident type. But beyond that, we have theft, vandalism, weather, hit while parked. Anything that a fleet would have to report in either internally or to file a claim, we have those digitized. And then Korryn also talked about alternative incidents. So, damaged cargo, anything that you have to report, again, either internally or you're asking your drivers to say, we want to get this now through to our insurance company, those reports can be digitized as well. So it becomes that everyday use of the platform. And then when a collision happens, you're leveraging that technology in that case. Korryn, I see.
Yeah. Thank you, Korryn. Thank you, Matt. This platform has impressed me from the first time that I was introduced to it. For all of you in the audience that have any responsibility for managing the process of incident settlement, this tool just provides so many great ways to digitize and ensure that the important information is collected while it is still fresh and not waiting for trying to recreate things from memory. It just puts a process and procedure in place that ensures a more favorable outcome for the customer here. So with that, let me see if there are a few questions coming in. Yeah, so here's one. Does the driver have to fill out the information in your initial landing page, or can some of that be automatically pulled in?
We have a great question. We have a lot of different ways that the driver can fill out that information. So it can be initiated, as Korryn mentioned, by the safety manager or fleet manager. Some of our fleets will have them call in, and then they will go through that and then send out a request just for photos or those areas that you can't take over the phone. But really the most common are going to be initiated from the scene. And so our platform is really intuitive. It's through integrations through like the Drive app, or it'll be a QR code that sits in the cab that then opens up the incident types, and then the driver will go through and report that in real time. And Randy, I think the question is we get generally after that is how much training is required. We have insurers that are using this for their policyholders every day with no training, and the satisfaction that comes back on that is about 98%. So again, very easy to use. The feedback's been high, and that's getting that information into the hands of the people that need to action it in a faster way, which is more accurate and more complete.
Is there a way to automatically prompt the driver involved in an incident to start the reporting process?
There are ways that we can have a notification that's in there that then prompts them to do that. It's usually set based on if we're leveraging telematics using the G-force that then sends a prompt back out. But there are ways that we can configure that platform for prompting. Yes.
You know, one of the things that resonated with me that I want to be sure that we highlight and stress is that this Xtract first notice of loss platform has been created to capture all of the important information and documentation that's needed, but that it is not only a platform for vehicular incident reporting, but as you mentioned, this platform can be used by employees to gather the important and critical information for other non-vehicular incidents like hazmat spills or OSHA accidents involving potential workman's comp. It's all about collecting the important data at the time incidents occur and having that electronic record to help guide next steps. So with that, I think that we've answered most of the questions that have come in. I want to thank you both again for joining me in this continuing series of safety-focused webinars sponsored by EnVue Telematics. I'll give everyone a few minutes of their day back. We will be sharing a copy of the webinar to all registered attendees today, and certainly would invite you to contact the Xtract team or us here at EnVue if you would like more information or to engage with us about how we can create your journey to using these powerful tools. So have a great afternoon. Thanks, everyone. Matt, Korryn, thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Korryn. Bye-bye.